Hello, little dreamer. I'm Lulu, the Little Lamb, and I'm so happy to tell you a story tonight. The day is done, the stars are waking, and the world is getting quiet. It's the perfect time to close your eyes and step into a land of wonder. In this special place, the moon shines softly, the wind whispers kindly, and every dream begins with a gentle story. Are you ready to go on a magical journey? A journey where your heart feels safe, your mind becomes calm, and your imagination can fly like a feather on the breeze? Then snuggle up in your bed, pull the blanket close, take a long, deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Close your eyes now, little one, and let's begin. Lulu and the Garden of Forgotten Wishes. It was a quiet afternoon on the edge of the dream meadow. The sun hung low in the sky, casting golden threads of light across the soft grass. Lulu, the little sheep, wandered along a path she had never taken before. Her wool was warm from the sun, and her hooves made barely a sound on the mossy trail. She wasn't looking for anything in particular, only following that soft tug in her chest, the one that said, "Something beautiful is waiting." The trees here were different, taller, older, their trunks twisted with age, and their branches draped with vines that shimmered faintly in the light. Lulu stepped carefully between their roots, her ears twitching at the soft hush of the wind. Then she saw it. A moss-covered archway of stone, half hidden behind a curtain of ivy. It stood silent and still, like a forgotten door. Curious, Lulu stepped closer. As she passed beneath the arch, the air shifted, warmer, quieter, almost expectant. Before her stretched a garden unlike any she had ever seen. There were no roses or tulips, no neat flower beds or buzzing bees. Instead, the garden was filled with tiny glowing orbs floating just above the ground, suspended in air like bubbles of light. Each shimmered in a different color, soft blues, gentle golds, warm pinks, quiet greens. They pulsed gently, as if breathing. Lulu stepped toward one of the orbs. The moment she drew near, a soft chime rang through the air, and in that moment, she felt something. Not words exactly, but something deeper. A wish. Lulu blinked slowly. The orb hovered before her, glowing pale blue. It trembled slightly, like a fragile dream. She sat beside it, ears tilted forward. The feeling washed over her, not from outside, but from within. A child once wished to find a lost friend. It was small, gentle, the kind of wish whispered into a pillow at night. Lulu touched the orb with her hoof. It shimmered, then floated slowly upward, rising into the canopy of trees until it vanished in a spark of silver light. All around her, more orbs drifted, some rising, some waiting, each with a different glow, each with a forgotten story. Lulu wandered deeper into the garden. With every step, she passed another wish. A lonely fox had once wished for someone to listen to his stories. A girl with tangled hair had once wished to dance without being watched. A tree had once wished to remember its first spring. And every wish Lulu touched bloomed. Some turned into birds made of light that soared into the sky. Others became flowers that glowed for a few heartbeats, then gently faded. One became a tiny rain cloud that rained glitter for a moment before vanishing. Lulu smiled, her heart full and quiet. This garden, it remembered what others forgot. She wandered for what felt like hours, yet time didn't seem to move here. In the center of the garden, she found a still pond. Its surface shimmered like glass. Surrounding it were the oldest orbs of all, dim and barely glowing. Lulu lay down beside the pond and watched them. One orb drifted toward her. It was smaller than the rest, its glow a faint silver. She didn't touch it. She simply waited. And then she felt it. A sheep once wished to belong. Lulu's breath caught in her chest. Was this her own? The wish pulsed, uncertain. She nuzzled it gently. You're not forgotten, she whispered. I remember you. The orb warmed, and then it slowly folded into her wool like a part of her had returned. She closed her eyes and dreamed. In her dream, she stood among the glowing orbs, but now they were stars, and each one whispered its story to her. She saw a mountain that once wished to be climbed, a raindrop that wished to be noticed before it fell, a lullaby that wished to be sung again. The stars circled her, not in chaos, but in rhythm, like a dance. Then a figure stepped forward, an old rabbit with soft white fur and a satchel full of empty bottles. Hello, said the rabbit kindly. You've woken the garden. Is it alive? Lulu asked. Oh yes, the rabbit chuckled. It breathes wishes, grows them, waits for hearts like yours. Lulu tilted her head. Why do some wishes stay here? Because no one came back to remember them, said the rabbit. But when someone listens, they bloom. Then I want to listen more, Lulu said softly. The rabbit bowed. Then the garden will stay open. As the last sunlight faded, the garden changed. Soft lights began to drift upward, not just from the ground, but from within the trees, the rocks, even the pond itself. It was as if the whole place was exhaling. Lulu stood still, watching as vines above her bloomed with glowing blossoms. Some opened to reveal small memories, images that flickered like old lantern shadows. A child laughing in a field, a kite dancing in a storm, a pair of old shoes left on a doorstep. She followed a gentle path lit with floating petals. It led to a clearing she hadn't noticed before. There, in the middle of a circle of stones, stood a tall tree. Its bark was smooth and silver. No leaves grew from its branches, only tiny glowing shapes, like stars, hanging gently in the air. The tree hummed quietly, its roots shifting ever so slightly in the moss. Lulu approached. One of the hanging lights drifted down toward her. She looked at it, and again she felt rather than heard. A song, never sung, a lullaby made but never spoken aloud. It hovered before her like a quiet note. She hummed, gently, something simple, a tune from her childhood. As she did, the light flared softly, spun once, and folded into the tree. The hum deepened. You remembered it, came a voice, not from the tree, but around it. Lulu nodded. I listened. Then another shall open, the voice replied. The ground shifted, and a path of glowing stones appeared. Lulu followed. The new path led her through strange beauty. She passed a bed of flowers that blinked softly when she looked at them, a stream that whispered names when the breeze touched it, small creatures of light skittered by her hooves, mice made of mist, butterflies woven from stardust. She came upon a bridge made of branches, arched over a dry stream bed. Beneath it were glass jars, each containing a tiny scene, someone dancing in the rain, a fox laughing, a child holding an empty balloon. She paused. A thought whispered, wishes don't need to come true to be real. She crossed. On the other side, the air felt warmer, like an embrace. The trees here were shorter, the garden denser, and there, sitting on a curled root, was the rabbit again. This time, he was polishing small wooden tokens. Back so soon? he asked with a smile. There was more, Lulu said. I could feel it. The rabbit nodded. The garden opens to those who listen. After a while, the rabbit stood. It's almost time. For what? The turning. Each night, he said, the garden breathes in all it has heard, and then it exhales. Some wishes fade, others stay, but everyone is honored. They walked back to the central clearing, where more figures now stood, creatures made of memory, a bear with leaves in its fur, a songbird glowing silver, a child made of mist. They gathered in a circle. The great silver tree pulsed gently, then silence and breath. The whole garden exhaled. Lights rose slowly into the sky, thousands of them, each a wish, some bright, some small, some barely glowing, but all rising. Lulu's eyes filled with quiet tears. The rabbit leaned close. Do you know why you could come here? She shook her head. Because once, he said, you made a wish too gentle to speak, and it waited until you were ready. Lulu placed a hoof to her chest. The glow still rested there. Is it time to go? She asked. The rabbit nodded. But the door will open again, every time you remember what others forget. Lulu walked slowly back through the archway. The vines brushed her wool like a goodbye. The dream meadow welcomed her with soft starlight. She lay in the grass, the night gentle and cool. Above her, faint trails of glowing wishes still drifted into the sky, like fireflies, like dreams. She curled into herself. The air was cool, but not cold, the kind of air that carried dreams gently from one world to another. She looked up at the stars, her breath slow and steady. Somewhere out there, she knew, wishes were still waiting. Some would rise, some would rest, but all of them, even the smallest ones, mattered. Her own chest still held a faint warmth, like a quiet light she could carry with her. She smiled, and in that moment, a breeze stirred the meadow, a soft hush that rustled the grass around her like a lullaby. As her eyes grew heavy, Lulu whispered one last thought to the stars. Even forgotten wishes are never truly lost. And somewhere, deep in the garden behind the vines, a new orb of light bloomed. A wish remembered. Thank you so much for joining me on this gentle adventure. I loved having you here, and I hope your heart feels warm and calm. Now it's time to rest, to let your thoughts slow down and your dreams begin. Close your eyes, little dreamer. Let the night wrap around you like a soft, cozy blanket. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully, and know that you're safe, loved, and never alone. We'll meet again very soon in the land of stars and dreams.